Well, I'm going to do a couple of reluctant upgrades to my all original 65 Ranchero with 15,000 miles on it. But I am going to in the future build my high school car back, which is a 64 Falcon Sprint, but I've got a Futura I'm going to turn it into. So I went ahead and got a aluminum radiator in the time being until I can get this one here taken care of, because we're fixing to get ready to go to a trip to Daytona with my son. So I'll show you how we do it. Okay, so I got the radiator out. It looks like it's been painted, and it looks like it's been probably repaired before, unless I can find somebody that can repair that old radiator. I missed part of my slow there, getting it all out of here. My daughter called, and my daughter's way more important than videos, so. But I want you to check out how solid my old car is. Nothing nowhere. The thing, it is incredible. And just that it survived, like that. Look at all that. It's probably not been cleaned under here. I mean, if it has, it's been no telling how long ago. And look, none of the wiring or anything's been messed with. All the wire looms and everything's been done. Of course, it's had battery cables put on it. I have to try to find me some original style battery cables and everything on it. Still got the little safety deals on the shocks. Still got the little tags on the manifolds and stuff. Just gonna give it a good cleaning. And if you look right here, I don't know if you can probably see that, but 13,107 miles in 9.3 of 85 was his last oil change. So just needs to be clean where I got all where my radiator leaked and blew it all over the place. So we're gonna get to that. One thing that I also want to mention, even though as original as this car appears to be, it has had one respray on it all over. Looks like a typical early 80s tape up all the chrome Earl Shives top spray and shoot deal. So the paint is a little weak on it, in my opinion. Of course, that's what I do for a living. But we're going to drive and enjoy this car. And I also you'll see in this next part right here, when I cleaned this, which is the first time I've cleaned it, and I've owned the car 2 years, I see some little issues. Oh, wow. I think it cleaned up pretty nice. Still, all indications is that it is what it is. Doesn't appear that any of this has been, painted multiple times or anything. Doesn't appear any of this is. And I'm pretty sure, just like with this indication is, that's probably an original, I guess, Monroe or whatever shop on that thing there. All nice and clean all back in there. The valve covers don't look like they've ever been resprayed, because right there's where some of that had come off of that. I'm not real familiar. I'll have to do a little bit of research with the gold valve covers and the gold breather on a 65 Deluxe. But the engine block is black, which was, from what I see, would be correct. Doesn't look like it's been a respray or anything like that on it. Again, all this over here. But I did see something that's kind of don't really understand that. I'm kind of a little bit bummed out about that, just a little bit. But I see a little bit of some little something right here. I don't know what that right there would have been. So we'll see, because it doesn't look like any of this other has been changed. But anyhow, it is what it is. It's not going anywhere. Next place it goes after me will be to my son. But he's promised to at least let the grass grow over my grave before he starts hacking this thing up. Okay, while I got this thing apart putting a radiator on it, I'm fixing to break this right here loose to where I can let the alternator come back. It appears that, and I guess that's pretty common for them just to sit when they set, as long as this thing's set, that the water pump sounds like it's growling a little bit. So I'll take those belts loose. All you gotta do is just loosen that bolt right there up, and that thing will slide down, and then we can take these two belts off. All right, so now we can see if I got the, I'm taking the alternator loose. And actually this thing's a 65, but it did come with an alternator. The dash indicates it's got the alternator light and stuff on it. And so that indicates that it was probably a later 65 maybe. And all that's all come in there. Taking got double pulleys on it, so getting both of those off. I'll show you here what I've done here once I get this mess off here. Well, I got that off, but now I'm wondering if my noise, check it out. So my noise, which I thought was the water pump, but I didn't understand how come that thing would be doing that with no miles on it. Look here, smooth as glass, look at that. So we'll not be putting no water pump on it, but check this out. The old alternator, on the other hand, listen to that thing. So I guess in all that time sitting there, it's kind of making a little bit of racket. And more so than the racket, you can't tell it, but you can feel it in that. So that's probably my noise that I actually thought was the water pump, but the water pump is really good. Like I said, I couldn't understand why the water pump would be doing that. So we'll just leave that little dude right over there on the stand and not mess with that, because that's all good. So that's a good thing. So now we just need to I'm gonna actually clean it up and decide over tonight if I'm gonna paint this block and everything. If I am, gonna leave all this off and do that. So we'll see. See if this shiny aluminum radiator fits in there good. Fit? Heck yeah, look at that. Bam! I don't like it because it's not our original, but it's in there. And all I gotta do is put this back in here and hook it back up and wait and see if my wife brings me some antifreeze or not. No disrespect to my wife, but I got a 50-50 chance that she will. We'll see. So it's pretty simple. Actually, it just does really nice. Oh, wait. Yep, actually does really nice. Fits really good. It's bottom radiator hose up here. That thing is. Okay. Shazam. Nothing to it. Right in there. Whew. I'm excited. Hadn't got it out much in almost a year, I guess. I don't really know why. I just hadn't. But now we got all this right here ready. I don't have any excuse not to get out here and drive it some. Especially since it's not so hot. And I don't have any. It's only got that 2x40 air on it. No, wait. That's a Chevrolet. It's got 2x40 air on it. This thing's got 2x60 or 80 air on it. That's 2 windows down and 60 or 80 miles an hour. Them Chevrolets can't keep up with that. So, but anyway, that's a whole different aggravation. So it looks like I got it in there. Just have to go back and tighten those 4 bolts up. Put the clamps on it. And wait on my wife. The radiator actually fit in there pretty good for it to be an aftermarket. I had to do a little bit of watering the holes out, but all in all, the little radiator fit pretty good there. And it done a good job while we were gone off to Florida that whole week. Drove it fine. And also, I put a set of seat belts in it that needed to be done a long time ago. And just enjoyed her car. Thank you for watching.